Part 9, Events Tries an O level. We have seen in the previous videos that how Evans he was giving his paper, that is the German O level exam, and finally he managed to escape from the prison, giving a good laugh to himself. And now we see that how governor and the detective superintendents they follow him. We have left here. He was just another good for a giggle, gullible governor. That was all. Now, governor was a very good fellow. He was very trustful fellow. By the way, Carter, I hope you managed to get McLeary to the hospital. All right. Yes, he is in the Red Cliff now. Red Cliff is the hospital. Really groggy. Groggy means he became weak. He was when we got to the examination offices and they rang for the ambulance from there. The governor rang the Red Cliff minutes later and asked for the accident department. McLeary, you say? So hospital se log पूछते McLeary, you asked? Yes, he is a parson. Parson means he's a priest. I don't think there is anyone. The hospital says that there was nobody with the name McLeary. Yes, there is. You will find one of your ambulances picked him from Elsfield Way about. So the governor said that you should check because one of your ambulances only picked him from Elsfield Way. Oh, that, yes. We sent an ambulance, all right. But when we got there, the fellow had gone. No one seemed to know where he was, just vanished, not a sign. So hospital says that the fellow had already gone. But the governor was no longer listening, and the truth seemed to hit him with an almost physical impact somewhere in the back of his neck. And now governor got the story right. He was no longer listening, and at once he got to the truth. A quarter of an hour later, they found the Reverend S. McLeary securely bound and gagged in his study in Broad Street. Now, they went to find the real McLeary, and he was found in his house, in his study room in his Broad Street house, securely bound. He was bound, उसके हाथ पैर बांधे हुए थे, and gagged. Gagged means a cloth was there in his mouth. He had been there, he said, since 8:15 a.m. when two men had called, and two men came and they put him in that condition. Inquiries in Newbury throughout the afternoon produced nothing at all. And after that inquiry was done in Newbury and no result was there. And by tea time, everyone in the prison knew what had happened. It had not been Evans impersonating McLeary who had walked out. It had been Evans impersonating McLeary who had stayed in. Now McLeary, it was not that, but Evans was McLeary who had gone afterwards. The fish and chips were delicious, and after a gentle stroll round the centre of Chipping Norton, Evans decided to return to the hotel and have an early night. Now it is all about Evans. The chips and fish were delicious. He enjoyed the two things. After a gentle stroll, after a gentle walk, around the center of Chipping Norton, around the center of this place, Evans now decided to go to his hotel. A smart new hat concealed the wreckage of his closely cropped hair, and he had a new hat which hid, जिसने छुपा रखे थे उसका रैकेज हेयर मीन्स रियून ऑफ हिज अर्ली क्रॉप्ड हेयर. एंड इवेंट्स ने अपने जो बाल काटे थे आगे से उसको नए हैट में छुपा रखे थे. एंड ही केप्ट इट ऑन एज ही वॉकड अप टू द रिसेप्शन डेस्क ऑफ द गोल्डन लायन, as he walked to the reception of the Golden Lion Hotel. It would take a good while for his hat to regain its former glories, but what the hell did that matter? And it would take little time for his hair to grow to his former glories. पुराने टाइम के जो बाल हैं उनको आने में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, but that does not matter now. He was out again, wasn't he? Now he's out of the jail. A bit of bad luck that when Jackson had pinched his Caesars, for it had meant a long and tricky operation with his only razor blade the previous night. And it was a bad luck. Now he's telling that it was a bad luck when Jackson had stolen his Caesars from his room, and it was a very long operation when he cut these hair with his razor blade the previous night. But he had his good luck too. Just think, if Jackson had made him take his bobble hat off, phew, that really had been a close call. Still, old Jackson wasn't such a bad fellow. And then he had a very good luck because as Jackson was telling him to remove that bobble hat, that woolen hat, and he did not remove it. And if he would have removed that hat, Jackson would have noticed that he had cut his hair. So he says that really had been a close call. That was very very close to his being caught. And old Jackson, he says, wasn't such a bad fellow. Jackson is not such a bad fellow. One of the worst things, funny really, had been the beard. He had always been allergic to sticking plaster, and even now his chin was irritatingly sore and red. And then he was talking about his bunny beard. It was really funny. And the sticking plaster bit, which he had stuck that beard, it has given him red. The area had become very red and sore, and it is itching. The receptionist wasn't the same girl who had booked him in, but the change was definitely for the better. As he collected his key, he gave her his best smile, told her he wouldn't be bothering with breakfast, ordered the Daily Express, and asked for an early morning call at 6:45 a.m. Tomorrow was going to be another busy day. So when he came to the reception of the Golden Lion Hotel, he found the same girl was not there at the reception who had booked him. He gave her a big smile, good smile, and he told that he should not be bothered with breakfast. He ordered this newspaper, Daily Express, and then also told him that he should be woke up at 6:45 because tomorrow would be another busy, hectic day for him. He whistled softly to himself as he walked up the broad stairs. He had sort of liked the idea of being dressed up as a minister, dog collar, and everything. Yes, it had been a jolly good idea for McLeary to wear two black fronts, two collars. But that top collar view, it had kept on slipping off the back stud, and there had been that one panicky moment when McLeary had only just got his hand up to his neck in time to stop the collars springing apart before Stephens. Now he whistled. He had entered the hotel. Now he whistled, and as he was walking up the broad stairs, and he liked that idea of being dressed up as a minister, as a parson, as a priest, with a dog collar uh, right there. And it was had been a very jolly idea, good idea for him to. Now he was telling the McLeary who had impersonated जो McLeary बनकर आए थे father, he was wearing two black fronts, two collars, और वहाँ से उसको वो collars मिले. But that top collar, and then he remembered the moment when that was slipping off. वो जो मैकलियरी के ऊपर जो दो लगे हुए थे वो एक नीचे से फिसलने लग रहा था. And McLeary in time he stopped the collars springing apart, नीचे गिरने से उसे बचा लिया before Stephens. Ah, so this is all in this video. Thank you.